Hey, what's up, everybody? What is going on with the Dallas Cowboys? This is serious? Boom, let's go. All right, guys, so we're 3 weeks into the season. Before the start of the season happened, a lot of us had aspirations of a Super Bowl, NFC Championship. And that's not to say that could still happen, but as we sit right now, 1-2, everything that has transpired with the Cowboys and around the league. We're seeing a lot of injuries all over the place, including the Cowboys. To give that as an excuse in any other year, there would be more credence. But right now, the entire NFL seems to be on IR 2020, right? But for the Cowboys, what's going on here? You're seeing some of the same kind of situations that you saw in the previous administration. The defense, the offense goes out there, takes care of their job. The defense gives the let-up touchdown. I've had some time to sit on this. I was pretty triggered yesterday.
Come on, get a sack, man. He's going deep. Oh no! God!
And I'll continue to be during the game. That's just the way I am. I love the Cowboys. I have a great passion for this team. That's why I have this channel as well. But to see my team lose, I hate it. I really do. I just cannot stand losing, dude. And so I took some time, just thought about some things. And so for me, what is going on with the Cowboys? Okay, so what is the future of the Cowboys? What are we gonna do this year? What is the real deal here with the Cowboys? So I think, like with the stock market, you have to make a correction, right? Like the Federal Reserve, the stock market, you have to make a correction. For us as fans, we need to make a correction. A lot of us fell for the bait. We fell in love with the off-season moves. Everybody, nobody out there can say they didn't. If they say, they're lying. A lot of us got hyped up. We love the moves. Everson Griffin, Aldon Smith, which I do love the Aldon Smith move. Everson Griffin, Aldon Smith, these kinds of players. Our draft picks, our draft class. Players that we let go, maybe not Byron Jones so much, but I wish we could have kept them, but couldn't afford them. That's really what it came down to. But as far as the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy, I've come to the conclusion that this is more of a rebuilding year, and the Cowboys are not going to. They're not going to say that outright. They're not going to come out and say, "We have Mike McCarthy here. We're rebuilding." No fan base wants to hear the R word, rebuilding. But you have to yank out the weeds, and the weeds are Garrett players. All right, we have a lot of them. For as much work as the Cowboys did in the offseason, you still have the weeds, which are Garrett guys. All right, now. There are some that you can really rely on, like a Zach Martin, but there's very few. You have a lot of sprinkling of Garrett people in here, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and you see it. You see it on defense. The let up touchdowns. That's the same crap we saw with Garrett's teams. Offense would take care of the job. Defense, we're gonna take this series off. We're gonna let you guys score. All right. Offense will be fine. They'll go out there. They'll pick up the slack. We can't have that. So, for me, why I say we're rebuilding, and nobody's gonna say this, but I am saying this. I'm thinking that the Cowboys are rebuilding. I thought they were reloading, but no. You have to continue to churn this into a full-blown Mike McCarthy team. All right. When McCarthy took over the Packers, they started that churn. They went from 4-12. In 2005 and 8-8 in 2006. All right, and they continue to improve. When Bill Parcells took over, turned around a 5-11 team, he had great success. And a lot of that, might have been the excitement of having a new regime in here. They went 10-6 his first year. They went to the playoffs with Quincy Carter, but then they came down to earth the following season. But you saw Parcells churn that roster in. McCarthy did the same thing in Green Bay. So as we sit here looking at the Cowboys early on, we're 3 games in. We're sitting at 1-2. You know, you gotta be realistic about this team. You know, I'm fine with hoping and wishing and guaranteeing wins, but I'm not that. You know, I'm not gonna guarantee wins because you cannot guarantee wins right now. You just can't. You know, it's we're not that team right now. You look at some of the teams that are playing right now. Look at Kansas City, how they look. Even the Ravens, even though they're losing that game, but these teams they're balanced. I mean, a well balanced teams. Cowboys are not. They're not well balanced. You know, they've got players that they're gonna have to get out of here. They're gonna have to jettison familiar names, names that some fans may have allegiance to. Okay, including myself. I have a strong allegiance to certain players on this team that I know are probably gonna have to, they're probably gonna have to jettison some of these guys. Now it's gonna come down to Jerry Jones and the culture, right? So that's the roadblock. Are they gonna let McCarthy really churn this out? Like, and I'm talking about players like Jalen Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, Lyle Collins, these types of players that, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not hating, okay? I hate when people say, oh, you're hating on this and that. Man, open your eyes. Let's be real about this, okay? And that's where I'm at. And looking forward, if you want to make a 3-4, how does DeMarcus Lawrence fit into that? Is he an outside linebacker? He's not. Are you going to pay him to be a 5 tech and a 3-4? No way. So what do they do there with that? Jalen Smith, as much as I love him to death, man. Notre Dame is my team. So for me to come out and say that we're gonna have to move on from that says something, man, in itself. But I just don't see Jalen gelling with these guys. He's not full speed. It's a wonderful story, man. I love the story of Jalen Smith. But you got to get some dogs in here. You got to get attacking linebackers, not reactive, not reactionary. Guys that play on their instincts and go and attack the ball and make big plays. Physical. You need to be more physical. They've kind of started the churn. McCarthy handpicked some of these free agents, but they're bridge players, right? Talking about like Everson Griffin, Aldon Smith, I think could be the lone player that they bring back on another extension, possibly. But these other guys, I don't know that you want to keep them. Xavier Woods, Jordan Lewis, I mean, if he turns it around, maybe you can get him on an Anthony Brown cheap deal. But Xavier Woods, the safeties, they got to get out of here, man. Build around the young core, okay? And I'm talking about Trayvon Diggs. All right, I think you have a really up and coming, potentially a lockdown type of cornerback. I mean, he plays the run well. He's doing really good in pass defense. Yeah, he's gonna get beat here and there, but that comes with playing on an island like that. Trayvon Diggs. That position, you know pretty quick if your corner is going to be a bust. All right. Look at some of the corners that have got drafted ahead of Trayvon Diggs. Look at Arnett. First round player. Trayvon Diggs outplaying him big time. He's outplaying a lot of these guys. AJ Terrell. I mean, he was projected as a first round pick for a reason. So build around that young core, but you're gonna have to yank out the weeds, man. All right. So that's why I'm saying we're rebuilding. Now you're gonna try to compete while you're rebuilding, right? That's how I see the season. That's how I see it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think that the Cowboys are rebuilding, but they're not gonna forecast? I mean, they're not gonna broadcast that. No team ever does that. No team really ever broadcasts we're tanking for whoever or we're rebuilding. Okay, you just kind of have to look. You have to follow the breadcrumbs and looking at what they've done and what they're trying to do. I think this year transitioning the hybrid. I keep saying it. The hybrid means they don't have the personnel to run a real badass 4-3, and they don't have the personnel to run a real badass 3-4. They're stuck in the purgatory right here in the middle. Hybrid transitioning. Okay, so for this team upcoming, you got to get some outside linebackers, 3-4 outside linebackers. Now, what I love about extending Randy Gregory, he has the build to play a 3-4 outside linebacker. He's perfect, man. He's a perfect fit. Now, can he get everything and and wrap it together, bring it together, he could be the future there, or at least one of the players. Bradley and I bring him along, but in the upcoming draft, you're gonna have to go get you have to go defense. All right, the best player availability crap, that we did this year. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with drafting CeeDee Lamb and not Caleb on Chason. But for next year, I don't think you can do that. Unless you get an offensive lineman, maybe. But if you're looking at if somebody badass falls to you, like another wide receiver or a tight end or one of these other auxiliary type players, I don't think you go that way, man. I think you gotta fix this defense. You gotta fix this defense because the offense is ready. It is ready. Now, some of the play calling, they gotta tweak it. Otherwise, that's gonna be the next move. Is stripping the play calls from Kellen Moore, relegating him to the QB coach or something like that, or move on from him and he joins Garrett in New York. I don't know, but you're not gonna fire the coaches right now. You're not gonna do knee jerk and fire these coaches right now. It's gonna be the players. All right, they have to move on and yank out the weeds. There's some of these Garrett guys that are just doing the same thing. They're doing the same exact thing. I think Tristan Hill has bought into it, to this new staff, but some of these other guys, the same old crap, man. That's the same old crap. So expect more dogfights. The Browns coming up. It's gonna be a heck of a fight. Where do the Cowboys end at the end of the season? I'm thinking, the way they look right now, we're probably looking at 8-8, 9-7. Might be good enough to win the NFC East. And also remember, they have that extra. This year, you're gonna have that extra team that gets into the playoffs. That goes into effect this season. So you might see a 7-9 team sneak into this tournament. Could it be the Cowboys? I don't know, but that's where I'm at with the Cowboys. And honestly, I think that's where they're at. But they're not gonna broadcast that. A lot of work to do, man. A lot of work to do. It's gonna be a lot of patience. You're rebuilding, but you want to compete at the same time. But as fans, I think you have to take a step back and you kind of have to come to that realization, all right, until Mike McCarthy gets a full grasp and thumbprint on this roster, and that's gonna take another season, I think. Move on from other guys, bring in your own players in free agency, your guys, the guys that you want in here. Working with Will McClay and drafting your players and, transitioning away from Garrett guys. You have to. Okay. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's an interesting conversation. I'm not hating on anybody or anything. I'm just saying what I see right now from the team and what Mike McCarthy and some other coaches have done previously. It is, to me, it's rebuilding. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. What do you think the record is going to be for the Cowboys? Do you see them being 8-8, 9-7? I have a poll in the community. Go take that if you haven't already, man. Appreciate everybody that has joined the live streams. I'm gonna do that again for the next game versus the Browns. I'll jump in live. We'll watch the game together. It's gonna be fun. So shout out to all you guys. Shout out to all my members. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the season. Don't fret. And I would say relax, but I'm not gonna do that because I get triggered. I get amped up too, man. So let's try to compete, but keep in mind, I think we are in rebuilding mode, but they're not gonna broadcast that. But it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. That's all I have, guys. Peace out.